Meantime, a big win for President-elect Trump as Fulton County DA Fani Willis and her team have been disqualified from prosecuting his Georgia election interference case. Trump telling Fox Digital, quote, "The case is entirely dead. Everybody should receive an apology, including those wonderful patriots who have been caught up in this for years." Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody joins me now. AG Moody, can you see any prosecutor in the entire state of Georgia saying, yeah, I want to take over this case?
Well, look, this decision was not a surprise. I'm a former judge. When the trial court judge said, yes, there's an appearance of impropriety, but we think we can cure that by removing the ex-lover from the case, you know, I don't think there's anybody that thought that that was going to stand. And so when the appeals court said, look, you have an appearance of impropriety, the decision as to who's charged, what the charges are, the decision to even bring charges, that all fell down to that DA when she had an appearance of impropriety. And so it was no shock that this was the holding of the appeals court. You know, if it's not dead, it's certainly in a coma. And the American people have elected Donald Trump to serve as our president. And you cannot have a sitting president that is having to deal on a daily basis with litigation all over the country. And that is why, if it's not dead, it should be dead. He needs to be able to, on January 20th, hit the ground running, unencumbered by any of this malicious, targeted, unfounded litigation. And I believe, even though this is going to now go to the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia, I believe the charges are seriously going to be reconsidered.
The Wall Street Journal agrees with you. Their editorial board writing the following. The irony of Fani Willis is that the conflict of interest case against the Fulton County DA prosecuting Donald Trump for election interference was always stronger than the case she brought against the former president. So, AG Moody, bigger picture beyond Georgia. Is lawfare dead? Kaput? Over?
You know, I certainly hope so. I'm a former federal prosecutor, just like the governor here in Florida, Governor DeSantis, and we have been pursuing charges against the would-be assassin of President Trump here in Florida. And the agency prosecuting that case is the FBI, which is also the agency that was going after President Trump separately. And you would think that agency would have wanted Florida to come in, an independent jurisdiction, work hand in hand, make sure the American people knew that we were doing this in an accountable, transparent way. And we've been obstructed pretty much every step of the way. We announced charges this week, attempted felony murder against Ryan Routh. But that wasn't done so with the help or aid of the federal government. So I think a new day is coming. Next month, we will see not only President Trump take office, a whole slew of new leaders in these agencies are going to take the helm. And I think that that is going to be not just important to President Trump, but to the American people that these agencies are accountable to and should be reporting to. And this lawfare has to end.
Finally, AG Moody, you know I'd be remiss if I had you on the program and I did not ask you about the possibility of you replacing Senator Marco Rubio in that vacant Senate seat, soon to be. Care to break any news on our show, 5 a.m., 547?
Can't break any news, Todd, but you honor me with that question every time. Certainly, I'm humbled to be considered among so many great people here in Florida that are being talked about for that position.
You know, it is certainly one to watch, but I think you hit the nail on the head. The names that are being discussed, including yourself, you've all established yourself in the state of Florida and nationally as proponents of an agenda that I think the American people can get behind. It's not just a Florida agenda, it's an American agenda, and I think that's what the people want. So we will be watching. Ashley Moody, thank you so much for always getting up with us. We appreciate your insight on these three stories. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.